Why are they so obsessed with us? Oh my goodness. So I'm on Twitter. Follow me if you don't already. And what Twitter has become is essentially a cesspool of anti-black hatred. Just a whole bunch of anti-black videos taken out of context, videos from ages ago put on there as if they were happening in present day. Just a lot of anti-black propaganda. I begin to realize that there are a group of people, as I've said, that stem from a lineage of evil. They're just wicked. That no matter what data you present them, no matter what context you give them, no matter what points you refute, that they simply don't care because they just despise you for who you are. It's an irrational hatred of black people. Now, there's a video that's circulating on Twitter where you have this man who goes into a police station and just starts bam, bam. Now, the guy gets hit with over 17 rounds in response, okay? Well, actually, no, excuse me, I'm sorry. The man didn't even get to fire off. He didn't even get to fire because I think his gun jammed. That then led the officer to fire off 17 rounds in the person. All the comments are, oh, black people this, oh, this is black privilege, the N-word that, oh, of course, this is how they're gonna spin it as a racism, all this, blah, 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 right? I'm just curious, this obsession with black people, because their hatred blinds them of the truth, of any truth. And it's really an interesting, it's an interesting sight to see. The funny thing is, if they were to do just an ounce of due diligence, which they're not, because like I said, they have self-fulfilling prophecies. They see a person that they assume is black, and it's obviously, oh yeah, that fits the MO, fatherlessness and, gangs and all this, right? They create this boogeyman, right, which is the black man, and they blame all the problems on the black man. I mean, this is the same thing. Listen to me. This is the same thing that their ancestors did back in the day with Birth of a Nation. They put the boogeyman, the black man is a boogeyman, and then blame all the problems. Hey, they got a cold, black man. They got fired from their job, black man. They were running late to work, black man. That's what they do. They're eternal victims. That's what they are. Even the victimhood complex, right? Black people have never gotten a chance to be victims in this country. Never. But what do? Oh, black victims. That's what you guys are, just a victim. Always, this victim complex. Everything that's theirs, they try to put on us. Nevertheless, I digress. If you were to do just a cursory glance at this story, you would come to find out that the person in the video, the man, isn't even black. That's correct. His name is Ali Najee or something. That's the person's name. But they're all acting like this is a black man because in their head, they've associated crime with blackness. The same thing that their wicked ancestors attempted to do during slavery and once we got out of slavery. That's what they have done. And the old habits die hard, as they say. And that's what they're currently doing right now. And it's like, oh, this has nothing to do with us. Nevertheless, what I find amusing is the response, because that's what actually goes back into the racial discrimination that are faced against black people. Hear me out, because you had all these people who are assuming this was a black person, and I would argue the officer probably assumed that it was a black person as well, and just started to load, because that's their racial bias coming in. This, in a nutshell, ironically, they try to use this as a story to mock black people, and what it does is that it proves our point. That's what it does when it comes to racial discrimination with law enforcement, which has been proven, time and time again. But nevertheless, the issue, if you want to say, hey, that's how they should have responded. Okay, fine. I don't have an issue with that. The problem is that's not how they respond when there's a white perpetrator. Never. Very rarely, that's how they respond when it's a white perpetrator. Case in point, we have a woman in Bristol who did the same exact thing. White woman goes into a police station, fires. This guy didn't even get to fire before he was lit up. She fires twice, bam, with a bag on her, mind you. So you don't know what's in the bag. You don't know what's on her body. right? You don't know. She could have a bomb for all we know if she's that unhinged to go into a police station and open fire. Opens fire twice. Guess what they do? Do any officers bum rush her? No. Do any officers start blah, 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 open firing on her? No. You want to know what they do? They wait. They wait and wait till the situation has been de-escalated, and then they bum rush her. But they don't bum rush her with their service pistol. They bum rush her with a taser. That's correct. A woman who walked into a police station, opened fired on them, they bum rushed them with the taser. Want you to understand that, okay? Night and day from how they react to a black person, or who they think is black, and how they react to a well-known white woman, okay? That's how they react. What these saltines, and that's exactly what they are, what they will try and say, look, it's a different police force, it's a different officer, look, that's what you have to understand. To which I would reply, thank you, Saltine, for proving my point. They're so dumb that they don't even understand that you're proving my point. Despite it being a different police department, they still behave the same and react the same when the person is white. Damn. Thank you for proving my point. Because there's multiple police stations, multiple police events, what we've seen where the officer shows godly like resistance and restraint whenever the perpetrator is a white individual. God-like resistance, where they will resist to open fire. They will do everything in their power not to pull their gun. And even when it's pulled, they'll do everything. Please, please, please don't make me do this. Please, I know your mother, I know your father. We're both white. Please, we both hate black people. They will do everything not to take the life of a white person, which ironically is the opposite response when they have a black person, when it's a black perpetrator. Because I want you to understand, the hypocrites, especially of the white conservatives, they want to talk about pro-life. But whenever it's a black person who's a perpetrator and an officer, they will always say it's justified. Always. Always. So it's not pro-life, it's pro-white life. Any scenario, bruh, any story, anything where this is even remotely similar that's happened to a black person. You have in this man named Luke, I forgot where it was, but what this white man did, elderly white man, was he didn't want to wear a mask. And in response to that, he assaults the clerk. Doesn't wear a mask, doesn't pay for the products that he was allegedly going to purchase, walks out of the store with them. Then the police are called. Guess what he does? He gets into a car fight with the police. Officer gets into his car, or doesn't get in his car, he gets on top of his, on the side of his car. You know how the railing they have on these trucks? He's talking to the officer. I kid you not. This is all documented. He, drives off with the officer on him. Then assaults the officer. Okay? All of this, guess what happened? The man is taken in peacefully. But, you ready for the kicker? He only got 1 year. That is correct. Out of everything, the litany of crimes this man committed, he got 1 year. You show me that leniency as far as with the totality of circumstances that transpired, that occurs with a black man. You can't do it. You can't do it. So all of this, well, look, it's a different police station, you're proving my point. All of these police stations respond very differently when it's a white person. White woman, you see a different response. White man, you see a different response. They just happen to enact their restraint. They just happen to enact their de-escalation whenever there's a white life involved. That same de-escalation, that same sanctity of life sentiment is not shown towards black life. It's not shown in any circumstance whatsoever. It's not shown. And I can give you case after case after case after case after case of this restraint, of this de-escalation regarding a white person's life. You can't give it to me regarding a black person, especially not to the extent that I just showed you. Someone going into a police station, boom, boom, boom. Someone, as far as dragging an officer with their car. Heck, we can even get to the judicial system of, let's say, taking advantage of someone physically. What happens? Leniency, because they come from a good family. Show me one story. As far as a judge is like, you know what, you come from a good family, I'm going to show you leniency, especially in this regard. It's not going to happen. I just think it's interesting, this obsession that they have with us. It's really perverse. It's really sick. And what I would say, instead of really focusing on these saltines, what we really need to focus on one another, okay? For every saltine that lives in an apartment complex, whatever, I think we should buy out their apartment complex and kick them out. Simple as that. Do it legally. Raise the rent to the point where their trailer park money can't afford it. Kick them out. Buy up the property. Kick them out. Push them off to the outskirts of the country. They like Europe so much due to the homogeneity, right? Go ahead. Go to Europe. Give them a one-way ticket to Europe since you love it so much. Go ahead. Go be with your people. Anyways, guys, that's the video. Let me know what you guys think. Whether or not you believe, look, that's not true. Oh, you just want to make it racial. All you want to do is just make it racial, and that's not true, okay? Well, white people die more than black people when it comes to police. Or if you have to believe, I'm not making it racial. I'm just making an observation. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, well, if you didn't, there is Disagreement Day, which is typically held Friday through Sunday. There'll be a number on screen. You call in, we duke it out. But if you did enjoy the video, I hope you guys make sure to like or dislike if you're fragile. Make sure to comment. I expect to see a whole bunch of tears, white tears in the comment section. Maybe some Sambo tears as well. Subscribe, share, all that fun stuff. Till next time, guys, be amazing. They just happen to enact their de-escalation whenever there's a white life involved.